NetherRealm. You snubbed Killer Croc twice. And now you're going to make him a skin for Baraka in Mortal Kombat 11? Why do you hate scaly things? Ah!
Would Spyro's physiology actually allow him to glide with this level of efficiency?
Okay, let's analyze this son of a bitch. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Chamber of the Wraith. My name is Brian, and today I'm late. I apologize in advance. As of recording this video, it is Saturday, January 18th, and we got the Joker trailer on the 16th. I feel dumb. And I seriously, 100%, actually factually apologize in advance. I did not mean for this thing to be late. But things happen, and it honestly slipped my mind. So, without further ado, bear in mind that we're doing this in Premiere again to maximize my control, because I can do it by arrows and such. And playback resolution will be at 1/4 of the full resolution, just because it's a little bit easier for it to play through. At this size, it'll look okay. I downloaded it at 1080p 60 FPS, so it should be okay. Without further ado, let's analyze the Joker. Okay, a lot of people were talking about this intro because it's so cool that he actually applies the red to his face, and this is the first thing I want to talk about. What some people didn't seem to notice is that he takes his thumb and slices it open by himself. You can even see up here a little bit of the red there. He sliced his own thumb open to apply the bloody lipstick, to apply his infamous smile. This was the moment that I was both excited for and a little bit sad about. This is Baraka as Killer Croc. This is also, by the way, the first time we've ever seen the DLC skins that come with the character in question shown off in the trailer. Every other character up to this point, Shang Tsung, Terminator, Sindel, Nightwolf, they never had what skins they came with show up until the end of the trailer. This is the first time we actually see gameplay of it, and we get to see something a little bit funny about Baraka's dialogue in a minute here.
Those blades, those teeth!
Realizing the ways I can kill you.
Because of how Baraka's teeth are actually twice as big as the teeth in the Killer Croc skin, I feel like they need to do something with specific mouth motions, otherwise it looks goofy. Because when he talks, hey, he's gotta be, hey, hang on, I gotta try, it's gonna be hard to do it because bees use lips. It's gonna be really, really hard to talk like this and make it look convincing. You know what I mean? Anywho, onwards.
The bucks I'll make selling them in Gotham.
An interesting prospect. Joker knows how to make a quick buck. And then this was the moment right here. Come on. There we go. This was the moment right here where I realized, oh, I was wrong. I think most people, myself included, fully expected the Joker to be a rehash of Injustice 2. I mean, he replaced Ash Williams randomly. He already has the moveset right there for the taking. And, most crucially, this is the pattern for previous NRS titles. Scorpion in Injustice 1 has his Mortal Kombat 9 moveset. Sub-Zero and Raiden have their MKX moveset in Injustice 2, and so on. Every time we've had a character that came from another realm property go into another one of their games, they've had recycled movesets, which is fine. because it makes sense for the characters. And I fully expected, I fully expected that they were going to do the same thing for the Joker, and I would have been okay with that. This is not what they did. They gave him new moves, utilizing the cane. I thought the cane was going to be basically a surrogate crowbar, but no, this thing is legit. So the first thing we notice is that this is very weird. This definitely looks like it would have an ender of some kind. So first he jumps over the projectile, lands what I'm going to guess is probably a jump 1. Gets a 1-2 off, if I had to guess, because it's 1 is for, like, if I were facing this way, as I would be if I were playing player 1, 1 or square would be 1 or square or X, depending. I usually use numerations. But, for instance, 1 would be this, 2 would be this, and then 3 and 4 would be the same thing with the legs. It would be my left leg and my right leg. But if I was facing this way, it would end up being 1 is my right hand, 2 is my left hand, if that makes any sense. So that's how I'm figuring out these inputs, is basically by limbs. The weird thing is that it ends here, and I feel like there's probably a third hit somewhere. We'll see if there is actually one there. This is a surprise. He throws some sort of fire thing. I don't know what. It might actually be an extension of this. No, it isn't. Because if you see, he does an input here. He moves forward and then inputs it, like it's a forward 1 or something. Boom. Into kick, which I believe, based off of the fact that it's his backhand into his, it might be forward 1-4, and then he sets off a surprise clown thing. I need to remember. I'm gonna have to remember to blur that. Just because I don't want people reading my Discord messages. And then it goes up, and then conks him on the head. The clown head conks him, leaving him open. But it seems to have a bit of a delay, so we'll see how that works out. Joker is very much looking like a setup character, by the way. Very much looking like the kind of character that he was in Injustice 1 and 2, just with different tricks. He walks forward as a forward throw. We haven't seen these. We have not seen these since Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. This is the last time that's the last time we saw these things, with the special move where he pulls it out and then squeezes it and the fist goes flying. That's the last time we saw these. These never showed up in Mortal Kombat, in any other Mortal Kombat games since then. Which is a little bit spooky to think about, that that's actually back. Takes a bow, and then somehow hides him in his jacket. We'll accept it. It's Mortal Kombat logic. But look at the distance that he gets off of this throw, right? If he was a zoning character, this would be a godlike throw. And I don't know how good this is going to be for the Joker, for him to have a throw that sends the opponent flying that far. Is it going to be good for him if he's got some projectiles, which he does? Maybe, but it's hard to tell. Anything is going to be hard to tell, to be like, oh, is he good? Is he bad? This is first impressions that the character's still technically 2 weeks out, but good block. And then okay, this is the bit that everybody was talking about that was freaking people out. So he bonks him. This is probably just standing too. And is it? Okay, so it's hard to tell, but this is either a string or a special move where I think it's a string because there's no like back forward or crouch input or anything. If you were actually doing this naturally, you would see like a down or crouch or something, right? If this was a thing, but he does not. It doesn't cancel into it. It's part of the animation. So this random dude with a wheelchair right here is part of that string, and Joker grabs him, swings him into Baraka, and like sends him flying. Everybody was dying here. I've seen reaction videos where people were wondering if this is Barbara Gordon, which that made me go, that is mean. I mean, it's still mean, but man, Babs is my favorite member of the Bat family. This would be absolutely disgusting if it actually turned out to be Babs. But it isn't. It's just some random dude that he dressed up in the Joker clown costume. But, hey, it is what it is. Again, more distance here. And then he runs forward, and he does, like, kind of a jumping kick into an overhead swipe. And I've noticed a kind of common theme with at least a handful of the DLC characters, where they'll have a string that if only the last part of it hits, Shang Tsung has this, Nightwolf has this, I believe, Terminator has it, and I can't remember immediately off the top of my head if Sindel does, but I know the first 3 DLCs did, where it would miss, and where the first hit has to miss, and then the second part has to connect, or the opponent has, in order for it to crush and blow. And that's probably the actual crush and blow requirement for this thing. It's not like, because we've learned they have easy crushing blows turned on for their trailers, which makes sense because they want to make sure that they can get all of their trailers. They're effectively just confirming my theory that NetherRealm does all of their trailers in training mode, effectively, and they just get 2 guys to kind of basically recite a script almost for part of the trailer, and they can just edit out a few other things like the flashes and the zoom ins and all of that. This thing. Okay, this is another thing. So he boots Noob into a Jack-in-the-Box, which reminds me a lot of Surprise from Injustice 2's gear abilities. And then he gets a combo off of it. But note the skin that that Noob is in. This is the Batman Who Laughs, this is probably the most recent DC character that has ever been featured in a NetherRealm game. He was from the Dark Metal multiverse thing that they did back in 2017, just after Injustice 2 actually finished Fighter Pack 1, if memory serves. And the Batman Who Laughs was basically the head honcho of these evil Batmen. He's Batman who's gone completely off his rocker and basically turned into a BDSM Joker. I kid you not, by the way. Fun fact, the Batman Who Laughs actually has 4 Robins chained up and collared, and he basically sicks them on people. He's the epitome of the crazy edgelord, and he's got another event going on at DC right now, and it is what it is. This back throw, though, makes me laugh, just because if you listen very closely...
I'll save the day.
I'll save the day! It's great because you get a little bit of a hint, as to the exact kind of character that Joker is. He makes fun out of even dealing with his rival.
The day.
I'll save the day. He even does the voice thing. He has a Batman doll, so technically Batman's in the DC universe somehow. I cannot wait to see this guy's ending. Actually, I'd be very interested to see what happens here. When Joker gets his hands on the hourglass, what the fuck does he do? The realistic thing is that he's just gonna fuck with all the timelines. But I would love to see if they pull an Emperor Joker ending, because they did that in MK vs. DC, and the Emperor Joker storyline, despite some of its more off-color moments, was actually a pretty cool concept. Okay, so and then he blocks the teleport. Low, mid, and then kind of a knockdown that launches, but I think it would only launch if he already set up a kind of Jack-in-the-Box. He would launch him into it, then the Jack-in-the-Box explodes and launches the opponent towards him. Noob rolls in, and then he amplifies Batgun over here to fire a little rocket that also launches. So he's got quite a few ways to launch characters or combos. I wonder if this is a direct criticism. If this is all base moveset, which I don't think it is. I almost wonder if Joker is actually this combo crazy, if this is part of trying to alleviate a direct criticism of Mortal Kombat, which is that there's not a lot of combos and not a lot of combo paths, which Sindel partially alleviated, but we'll see. So he kicks him, and then I don't know what this is. I feel like this move right here is a true unblockable that he can amplify at any time. I'm very curious as to what that's all about, though, because that has incredible startup. That seems like something that if Joker's got you scared, he'll go for it. I'm not taking any guesses for what are gear moves, by the way. Generally speaking, though, it's not very often that a character gets new strings. They're usually just extensions of strings, like Jax is enhanced outranked. And usually it's the special moves you got to watch out for that are getting geared up. But try not to make any guesses. I wonder if the parry is. I almost wonder if the parry actually is a... Sorry, excuse me for a minute. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm a little bit unsure about what if this parry, for instance, is actually gear. It could be, but Joker's always had a base parry, so it'll be interesting to see if it is or not.
Always the buffoon.
Blocks again. Okay, hang on a minute. I feel like that was actually the string from right at the beginning here. So a minute 6. So I just want to go back to the very beginning to identify something. So it's 1-4 bop. Okay. And I want to see block 1, 2. Yes, it absolutely is. It is the end of that very first string, and that launches into the air, and then Joker gets a combo off of it. Easy crushing blow again. I very much doubt it's actually going to be a string given how it's animated, but it is probably either a counter or punish. One thing that we have not seen the Joker have, though, so far, is any throw crushing blows. These are the only two I believe we actually see. Last time we see, in the characters that do have throw crushing blows, we see when they are, usually. And we've seen both of Nightwolf's and both of Sindel's in their trailers, if memory serves. Short hop the low, that's got great range too. Like if you look at wham, like you can see the end of the cane. This is probably one of the better short hops in the game. Kind of like if I don't remember if Jade slams it down or if she whaps it long range style. Baraka does it with his Baraka blades. So that does a cancel into a gasoline thing that I could... This is what I want to know. Okay, so he does amplify it to make it launch and leave a fire trail. So I wonder if the fire trail on its... if he leaves the fire trail on its own or if he creates just a gasoline slick. Runs in, does a big boot. Now, this is interesting because this is a special move of some kind. He runs, and I know it's a special move, because note that he directly cancels into it. He cancels into the animation. It doesn't have a flow to it. And that's one of the things that you can really only see if you go slow-mo on it. So he goes for it, bam, 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 bam. And okay, so I lied. This is the third crushing blow. I wonder... This does have a crushing blow, but I wonder when that is. Is it a crushing blow at the end of the string? Is it a crushing blow if it hits at maximum range? Or is it counter or punish? What is it? This is probably my least favorite skin, and I've talked about it in private to one of my friends before, but suffice it to say, this feels like a bad joke on NetherRealm's part. Fans criticize Kitana for basically stealing weapons 2 games in a row. She borrowed Jade's staff in memory of Jade, fine. But she then steals Melina's Sai for some reason. So what do for one of the Joker skins? They give her a costume that's based off of the most infamous cat thief, the most infamous cat burglar in all of fiction, and arguably the most infamous thief in the 20th century. This just feels like a bad joke, in my honest opinion. I mean, the skin's fine. I'm not personally too remiss about a Catwoman skin. It's funny, though, because I saw somebody complain, well, what's with the hair hanging out? Catwoman had her hair hanging out in the 90s. Here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about, so there's precedent. This just feels like a really bad joke to me. But, moving on. So, then he sets up the Bat doll thing, which it looks like he amplifies to get more shots. I wonder if it's just one shot on its own thing. Okay. And then this is where people realize that, yeah, we are getting super crazy, mega insane Joker, not just the kooky crazy Joker. This man hops along, gets suicide squatted, head blows off, and then the rest of him blows, launching Katana high into the air. I wonder if this probably has close, medium, and far based off of trajectory, but we'll see. So he gets knocked down here, and they always knock a character down to show off a wake-up attack. And that's his invincible, because A, the standing 2 didn't hit him. B, this is the reaction that all wake-up attacks like that do. The invincible wake-up attack to get off me never launches. It's truly invincible, but it never launches, which is why I usually tend to go for it unless I know an opponent is jumping if I'm playing as Kotal Khan. Because up 2 with Kotal Khan is when he's waking up is a damn good anti-air. So, okay, so this is interesting because I wondered if this was like part of the same thing and just a different flavor, like a gear version. But no, this is a special move version of this where he grabs the opponent, where he grabs the body, spins him around, amplifies it to send the opponent sprawling because of the legs, and then the body catches on fire, leaving a hazard. This is brutal. Now, Fatal Blow. First thing I want to talk about this is that everybody's saying that this is a sign that it's a delay. I wouldn't hold my breath. It very well could be. It could be a Johnny Cage style. You can hold it to cancel it and then proceed onwards. But I feel like there's also the chance, because we've seen him with a really long startup move before, this could just have a really long startup that is unblockable. A truly unblockable Fatal Blow that has ages of startup. Because remember, the only character that I can immediately recall that has a true unblockable attack is Kotal Khan. His down back 4, where he slams the sword into the ground, is 41 frames, but is unblockable. You can't block this move. You just have to clear it. Now, here comes Joker with 2 possible unblockable attacks that leave incredible mind games. We'll probably get a combat cast next Thursday to see if this is true or not, but we'll see. Boom. And then he goes in, and you've seen this part already. Stab, 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 stab with the expression. The Glasgow smile. Boom. And then he just goes ham. Boom, boom, bam. Jason Todd fans, I feel bad for you. I don't like how it just randomly goes into this, though. I would have liked if there was a little bit of time where he like, beats him in, yeah! And then he turns, and then the camera changes. But that's not what we get, and then we get the fatality. Which this feels just like a cute gag. So, friendship! If it wasn't on Baraka, I'd love to see what their mouth expressions actually are. Like, are they gonna go, huh, or what? As they realize, boom! Up they go! And the cool thing is that the friendship is made out of balloons, and you can actually see the fatality written underneath it in red paint. As Joker goes up to the Tommy guns. And then he goes, oh! Like he wasn't expecting the sign to fall on his opponent.
The Joker wins.
And then we get to see this outro, which, this feels cute. Because that's like an MK9 reference. Because in MK9 and MK vs. DC, this was a fatality of the Joker. Shang Tsung straight up steals it for MK9. Where he pulls the gun, and it's a fake gun like this, that it just goes bang! And then Joker laughs, and he pulls out a real gun and caps you. This feels like this is probably a reference to what it is. And that's our penultimate character for the combat pack, the Joker. Early access, January 28th. That is, 12 days from recording. Exactly 2 weeks from the trailer release. And this is the DC Outworld skin pack. I've seen people kind of torn on some of these. Like, again, people loved and hated Katana. My personal opinion is that it feels like a bad joke. Killer Croc is my favorite, and even then I have a few slight issues with it, personally. There's some things that I'm not too keen on about. Just a little bit of story time, I guess, just to let you know why I don't think this is like the perfect skin for Baraka, aside from the fact that it's Killer Croc Baraka, and Killer Croc doesn't have these big blade things. Steve Bloom voices 3 Mortal Kombat characters so far. He's voiced 3 of them so far. Sub-Zero, who's been in 3 games so far, including Injustice 2. And Baraka in Mortal Kombat 11. But Baraka from Mortal Kombat, Baraka was not playable in Mortal Kombat X. He was just a story NPC like Sindel was. And here's the kicker. Steve Bloom voiced a character in Mortal Kombat X who did not come back in Mortal Kombat 11. I'm talking about Reptile. This feels a little bit strange that they got the voice actor who did Sub-Zero, Baraka, and Reptile, have him voice Sub-Zero, and then have him voice Baraka with a skin that could be interpreted as a replacement for Reptile. You know what I mean? It's just really bizarre. And the Batman Who Laughs, this is just capitalizing on the fact that both of them are just edgy bastards. I would have preferred Injustice skins, but the Killer Croc skin actually genuinely has me excited. I feel like these spikes are the gear, and so are these. One other thing, we did not see Baraka's flag, so I wonder what that's going to be, if they're just going to slap a DC logo on it or something, but we'll see. And then there's this. Darkseid Geras. It's weird. This is the second best of the skins, besides Killer Croc Baraka, in my opinion. Because Geras is this big, immortal brute who has incredible strength, and Darkseid fits that bill. The only thing is that Darkseid wields the Omega effect and doesn't control sand at all, whereas Geras controls sand and time. So the power sets don't quite match up. But the strength and the bigness of Geras do kind of make sense for him to have the Time Lord of Apocalypse Geras skin. It would have been funny if they gave him like a Rip Hunter skin or something instead, but hey, beggars can't be choosers, right? So, that's the Joker. Overall, definitely consider me surprised. Impressed? Maybe. I'm still not 100% sure how I feel about the Joker being in Mortal Kombat, but I mean, he's cool. I'm definitely gonna give him a try. Not right away though, because you'll probably see him on the weekend that I upload his Fatality Friday. So it'll be his Fatality Friday, and then on Wraith Online, I'll try out the Joker online and see how I handle him. Because come the 28th, Combat League is gonna be swamped with Jokers. So we're gonna, because he's the new character and he's the hype, and everybody, and you know, Joker fans are gonna come in and buy Mortal Kombat, which, oh, this is actually really cool. The stats just came out not that long ago, but Mortal Kombat 11 was the 5th best-selling game in all of 2019. Of all of 2019. It even outsold Smash, which is weird because Smash Ultimate is the best-selling fighting game of all time. Probably because Smash Ultimate came out right at the end of the year and didn't quite have the... And basically, Mortal Kombat 11 had an 8-month head start on Smash Ultimate. But at least I think that's what it is. Or did it come out last year? Give me a second. I want to have a look at this. I feel like I may have made a mistake in that. Let's see. Smash Bros. Ultimate release date. Okay, so it actually released last year. So NPD somehow has it... I'm going to have to check those stats again, because I know Mortal Kombat is in 5th, and Smash is in 7th. Yet, Smash sold more than Mortal Kombat and as the best-selling fighting game of all time? I'm confused. Oh, you know what it actually is? I think I know what it is. This is just me hypothesizing here. You could probably just quit the video now if you don't want to. If you want to stick around for the hypothesizing, thank you. If I were to be a hypothesis person for a minute, I feel like the reason why Smash did not overtake Mortal Kombat in 2019 is because it released in December of 2018, and it had a whole month, including Christmas, to rack in the majority of its sales, with little spikes in it as DLC gets released and so on. But overall, I feel like that's probably what happened. Releasing in Christmas, it basically couldn't outsell Mortal Kombat 11 because it came out too early, which seems really strange, but hey, it is what it is. That's my hypothesis, though. What do you guys think of the Joker? Like him? Hate him? Don't really give a shit? I'd love to know your thoughts. This has been a 30-minute analysis. I apologize. Don't forget to be awesome, and I'll see you guys on the other side.